Our cycle can go missing for a whole range of reasons. Maybe you're under a whole lot of stress, maybe your body is under a whole lot of stress, if you've been under eating, maybe over exercising. We often lose our cycle for a period of months after having a baby, after having a miscarriage or a loss. And sometimes our cycle seems to go missing for no reason at all. And that can feel really stressful when it's gone and you don't know why it's gone, especially if you're trying to conceive or if you view your cycle as an indicator of health, which it really is. So a lack of cycle often means there's something going on in the body, in the mind, in the emotions that is creating a problem, and our missing cycle is our body's response to that problem. So while I don't believe there's anything you can actually do to bring your cycle back, it's more so a case of encouraging your body to come back into balance so that it allows your cycle to come back. Because when your body is really healthy, when your body is balanced and stress has lowered, then your body will resume its cycle as normal. Because from your body's biological perspective, it makes sense to cycle and to be fertile and to be able to procreate when everything is in balance, when you have enough nutrition, when you're not stressed, when there's not danger as the body perceives it. So today's class is not about bringing on your period. It's about helping your body to be the healthiest that it can be. It's about opening up and unlocking any trapped emotions or stress that you might be holding in the body. And ultimately, it's about feeling good, because when you feel good, your body will cycle as it's meant to. If you are brand new here, welcome. My name is Bettina. I specialize in yoga for fertility, for pregnancy, and for postpartum. I myself have been through a fertility journey. We experienced 3 losses in 12 months, which, as you can imagine, was a really heartbreaking, anxious, exhausting journey, and I really turned to yoga at that time. And this is why I share these tools, because they have been so helpful for me, and I hope that they help you too. All right, we're going to start our practice today in child's pose, and I would like for you to take the knees nice and wide. We're just going to allow the belly to not have any compression today and just allow it to really soften and relax. I know for me, when I get really stressed, I have this habit of holding everything tight. So I hold my shoulders tight, I suck my belly in, and I compress all of these organs that exist within my body. And I notice when I just allow myself to and let it all hang out, my body naturally goes into a more relaxed and stress-free state. So I'd like for you to do that today as well. We won't be doing any belly compression in today's class. So take the knees nice and wide, stretch the arms out in front of you as far as you can, creep them forward a little bit more, and then relax the forehead down to the mat. I want you to take some full deep breaths into your low belly, letting it hang. See if you can notice the shoulders and soften them, breathing into any tension in this space. Maybe you're also feeling a little bit of opening through the inner thighs. Just let yourself soften here. Notice your connection with the mat, so the palms, the forearms and elbows, and tops of the shins and tops of the feet. And let yourself get really heavy in these spaces, sinking down. In your next breath, we're just going to creep the hands back just slightly. And we're just going to tuck that right arm under. So slide it along, let the forehead come down, and then move that left hand so you can gently press into the floor, getting a little bit of opening through the shoulders. Keep the side of the head nice and soft. Resting down on the mat. And keep that full deep breathing going into the belly. So throughout this class, we'll be breathing in and out through the nose. You might be creating that gentle oceanic sound on the exhale. It's almost like you're going, but with the mouth closed. Slowly pressing your way back up. We're just sliding that left arm under. So we create that sound with the breath, or ujjayi breath, because it's a soothing, calming sound, but also it helps to keep reminding us to breathe. When we lose that sound, we've lost the breath. So use that as a reminder to keep breathing long and slow, full and deep. Slowly bring yourselves back up. So we're going to do some pelvic circles and really getting in touch with this space in our body. So a lot of the time I see with the women I work with, they've become really disconnected from this space, whether it's from a trauma that they've experienced, whether it's just from growing up being told we don't touch this area, that it's a private space, that it's naughty to do that. And sometimes it's simply just because we live so much of our lives in our head that we're disconnected from the whole body, so not just this space. And one of the important things that I see when working with women one-on-one is it's really important to get them to allow themselves to listen to their body and listen to what these spaces are telling them. Because often our body knows exactly what we need, it's just that we've lost the ability to listen to it. So you can keep the knees wide or you can bring them in a little bit, whatever feels more comfortable. And we're just simply going to take some pelvic circles. So imagine the top half of your body is a spoon and the bottom half of your body is a big bowl, so the pelvic bowl. And we're just going to stir it on up, which may stir up some emotions. We typically tend to hold emotions in this space. It may just stir up feelings of discomfort, like, ooh, don't really want to do this. This feels a bit weird. That's okay too. Just want you to be with your body, breathe through it. Feel free to modify the movements in any way. So I really want to encourage in any of my classes, feel free to change what we're doing. If you feel like sticking your butt out a bit more, it feels better to have the hands on the ground, please do that. Find what works for your body. We're all unique. Your body will feel different to mine. It might be tighter, it might be more flexible. So just stirring one way and then reversing and stirring the other. You might like to close down the eyes. That might feel nice. Can help you to listen to. Be aware of the pelvic floor in this position, letting the pelvic floor be soft as well. And then slowly bringing your circles back to center. Bringing the hands onto the belly, really low belly. Find length in the spine and just sit here for a moment, enjoying the warmth of the hands and the low belly. Good. Release the hands. We're going to come into our tabletop. So bring the knees into the underneath the hips and bring the hands underneath the shoulders. So you should have a nice flat back here. We're just going to move with the breath, inhaling, lift the tail, lift the head, really press into the hands. And then exhaling, rounding, looking towards the thighs. I'm going to repeat this a few more times. Feel free to move with your breath. So you can breathe out through the nose as we round. Or it might feel good inhaling through the nose and then exhaling through the mouth. Almost like you're sighing it all out. Good. Bring the body back to tabletop and just take the left leg out behind you. So you'll find here you'll have to turn your core on in order to keep balanced here. You'll have to press the shin of that right leg firmly into the mat. And I just want you to breathe here. This tends to build a fair bit of heat in the body. And often we rush through these sort of intense holds, but it can be helpful to breathe. Just be with the sensations in the body. On your inhale, you're going to draw that left knee into the left elbow. And then on the exhale, I want you to press it back. Inhale, draw it in. Good. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, last one. This time, we're going to shift the weight so that we can land that left foot into a low lunge. I just want you to rock and roll here. So again, moving in a way that feels good for you. And then creep those hands forward. So as far forward as you can. Lift through the chest. You'll have to lean the weight forward a bit into that left leg. See if you can soften any tension you might be holding in the shoulders or neck. And then walk the hands around to the right side. So as far as you like, just exploring how this changes the stretch through the legs. And then slowly bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, stepping that front foot back. I'm just taking a little rock from side to side here, resetting through the hips, resetting through the legs. And then when you're ready, you should know where we're going. Opposite side, right leg stretches back. Get that balance first, so get even weight through the hands. Firmly press that left shin in. Breathing here. As you inhale, I want you to draw that right knee into the right elbow. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, send it back. Inhale. Exhale, send it back. Good. Last one, draw the knee in. This time we land the foot to the outside and then find that rock and roll through the hips once more. I always like to close down my eyes at this point. Just noticing what I'm feeling in my body. Noticing any tight spots, and when I find them, I tend to just rock and roll there for a few breaths, imagining that I'm breathing into that space. And then we walk the hands forward, lift through the heart, shift the weight into that right foot a little bit, and just notice how this changes the stretch. And then walk the hands around to the left side this time. Again, noticing how this changes, how your body feels, maybe how the legs feel, the opening through the hips. Good. And then slowly walk the hands back. Bring the knee back, rock the hips side to side. Let's walk the hands forward, melt that heart down, puppy pose. Forehead or chin can find the mat. Let the arms completely soften, so releasing any tension across the shoulder blades, the mid-back. Good. slowly walk the hands back. Coming back to our tabletop once more. This time, I want you to lift that left foot as if you're trying to press the foot to the ceiling. It's going to work with a little bit of hip mobility here. So I want you to open the knee out to the side and draw the knee around, almost like you're drawing with the knee. Good. So you'll notice again, core needs to be switched on, strong through both hands. Good. And then as you come to the side, I want you to shoot the leg out to the side, land the foot down, even up the weight through both feet. And the right hand this time is going to glide under. So threading the needle, except we've added on with the leg as a bit of a kickstand. And then just breathe and soften here. If you feel like you need to at any point, it can feel nice to really sigh out the breath. And sometimes it helps as a bit of a cue just to relax, soften. Good, and then slowly bring yourself back up. Draw that left knee back in. Little rock from side to side, we reset. Opposite side, so lift that right foot as if you're trying to press it to the ceiling, the knee is bent, and then drawing circles with that right knee. Noticing that maybe one elbow wants to take a bit of a bend. See if you can keep both arms straight, even weight through all 10 fingertips. Good, and then that right leg comes out as our kickstand, even up the weight as you need. Left arm this time, underneath the shoulder finds the mat, side of the head finds the floor. Take a big sigh here, and then settle in, enjoying how this stretches through that upper and mid back. And let the belly hang nice and soft, a gentle stretch through the inner thigh, maybe through the hamstring as well. Good, start to slowly bring yourself back up. Bring that leg back in, a little rock from side to side, and then sit your way back to the heels, coming back into our child's pose. So arms outstretched, forehead to mat. And this time just let your head rock from side to side. Let the belly be soft. Walk the hands over to the left side. The right hand sits on top of the left, and then soften back in. Good. Walk the hands all the way to the opposite side. Left hand on top of right, and soften in. Good. Walk the hands back. Coming all the way up. This time we're going to tuck the toes and lift up into our first down dog today. So I want you to enjoy moving into this pose. Feel free to bend one knee, straighten the other out. Really just take your time getting prepared for down dog. Sometimes we can jump straight into it and just expect the body to be able to do it. It's nice to really stretch out those calves and hamstrings. And just let ourselves ease into what is a fairly strong pose, though the more yoga you practice, the more it starts to feel like a really comfortable place to come back to. Good. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky. And as you exhale, I want you to step it forward to the outside of that left hand. Leave the right hand grounded and inhale the left arm to sky. Good. Exhale, lower it back down. Keep leaning the weight forward. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. Inhale and exhale. Good. Press back into both hands. Left leg slowly moves back to sky and returns back into down dog, and we take pause here. We really want to embody this idea of being okay where we are now. Being okay with a missing period, not striving or seeking, which just adds more stress. Just trust that your body is where it's meant to be. Trust that your cycle will return when you are once again back in balance and healthy. Inhale that right leg to sky. Exhale, step it through. Left hand stays grounded, right rises. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Press into the hands. Step that right foot back to sky. Enjoy the time it takes you to get there. Don't be in a hurry just to get there. It's not about getting into the pose. Excuse me. It's about the journey to get there. Breathing here. This time, draw that left knee to the left elbow, and we stretch that right leg out behind us. We're coming into our pigeon pose, but let's stay high just for a little bit before we soften down to the ground. We need to tuck the toes of that right leg and then lift the knee up. So you should get a really beautiful stretch through this right hip. Keep lifting the chest. If this is too much for your hips and your hips are maybe up a little bit higher, cushions, rolled blankets under this left side will help. Just means the floor is a little bit closer towards you. See if you can soften through the head and neck. Release that knee down. Let the hips start to open that little bit more. Feel them releasing, softening into the mat, and then slowly bring the elbows down. Maybe you want to go further. Maybe you can come down so that the forehead rests on the hands. And just let the entire body go. Belly is soft. Soften the shoulders and the face. Relax through the arms, mid and low back, hips, thighs, calves, all the way down to the toes, soft and relaxed. Good, and then slowly bring yourself back up. This is when we have to power back into our body. So hands pressing firmly, Lifting that back knee up, pressing into the ball of the foot. And when you're ready, we press our way back to down dog. Pedaling it out here. And then this time our right knee steps forward. Stretch that left leg out behind you. Get any props that you need here under that right hip. Sitting up tall, tucking the toes of the left foot, lifting that left knee. Breathing here, letting the hips open. And then slowly soften the leg down. Soften the arms down, whether supporting on the forearms or resting the head. And just deep belly breathing here, letting everything sink and soften. Good. Slowly bring yourself back up. This time we're actually going to roll onto this right side so that we can bring that left leg around. Come and have a seat. So just sitting however is comfortable for you. You might want to sit up a little higher. I often find having the hips a little bit higher than my knees makes for a more comfortable seat. And we're just going to come back to where we started, so with our pelvic circle, so holding onto the knees, coming back to that rolling action that we started with. And just take your time. So like we spoke about earlier, not feeling like you need to rush, really just noticing how the body feels. Maybe noticing, oh, it's a little bit tight there. I'm just going to rock back and forth and then move forward. And then reverse your circles. So rolling in the opposite way. Keep that breath flowing, that Ujjayi breath. Back to center. Good. Find some length through the spine. Reaching the right hand down, left arm up and over. And a beautiful stretch through the side body. See if you can feel like this hip is anchoring down, so you get this beautiful stretch from hip to armpit. Maybe you can go down a little further. And then allow that top arm to roll down. I'm just going to explore moving all the way around. So maybe noticing how the back feels. And then left hand down, inhale the right arm up. And just breathing here. Good. Coming on up. I want you to take both legs wide now. So your version of wide may look a little different to mine depending on how tight the inner thighs are. Feel free to bring them in if yours are not as open as mine are, and that's completely fine. Sitting nice and tall, I want you to feel like you're pressing the knees down as if you're trying to remove this space from underneath the knees. And as you press down, I want you to lift up, so rooting down through the sit bones. Crown of the head lifts tall. And this is enough, just sitting here, engaging those legs, being aware of your connection with earth. If you want to go a little deeper, there is space to lean forward, but like I said, not essential. Find the breath if you've lost it. Sitting tall. Drawing the soles of the feet in towards each other just so that they make a diamond shape. So we've got this bit of a diamond shape with the legs. Hold onto the feet, open through the heart. So feel like you're rolling that pelvis slightly forwards. And then allow the body to round. So really finding a yin posture here. Softening the shoulders, letting the head droop. Knees fall out to the side. And just staying with the breath. Good, sitting up tall. Again, finding a comfortable seat, however is comfortable for your legs. Bring the hands onto the belly as we just quieten down for the next couple of moments. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. Keeping that length through the spine. Letting the shoulders be soft and heavy away from the ears. Just tuning into your body, to your heart, listening. And in the mind's eye, repeating this affirmation to yourself. I am healthy and calm. I accept my cycle will return when my body is ready. I trust in its divine timing. I am healthy and calm. I accept, I trust that my cycle will return when my body is ready. I trust in its divine timing. Bring the hands to heart, bowing down the head in honor of your own body and all that it has done for you and continues to do for you. Sometimes we can get so caught up in what it's not doing, what it isn't, that we forget to honor what is. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. If you enjoyed this class, I would like to invite you to join my online yoga circle, which is my online yoga community where you'll find all my premium classes and also a community of other women in this same stage of life as you. See you soon.